The Regal has a maximum sample rate of 8 gigasamples per second, compared to 2.5 on the Rode. With all channels active, the Rode samples at 1.25 gigasamples, while the Regal samples at 2 gigasamples per second. In any channel configuration, the Regal provides 1.6 to 3.2 times the sample rate. When comparing longer captures, each instrument begins to lower their sample rate once all the available memory is used. The Regal comes standard with 2.5 to 5 times the memory depth, with an additional option to double that. In a single channel configuration, the Regal, with memory option, can provide 200 million points in a single capture, compared to 20 million points on the Rode. This combination of superior memory and sampling means that at any time, any channel configuration, more signal detail may be available on the Regal. Let's use this high-frequency pulse repetition as an example. Here we can see the pulse event, but let's go out to context to see how often these pulses are occurring. Here out at 20 milliseconds per division, we can see the full train of 25 pulses. Here on the Rode, because we're now only sampling at 62.5 megasamples per second, we can sometimes see it's missing some of those signal artifacts. Now let's zoom back in. So we can see that when zoomed back in, we can't see the full signal detail always on that pulse event. And that's because there just isn't enough sampling to see that detail in the center of the pulse event. That's what the additional sampling and memory depth combination does for you. Now let's take a look at the Regal. Here on the Regal, we can go out to that same 20 milliseconds per division. We can see all 25 of those pulse events. And when we zoom back in, we can recenter it and continue to zoom down all the way until we get towards that 200 nanoseconds per division. And then we can see every time, we can see that entire center pulse. And that's really because at this rate, we're even sampling at 100 megapoints per, or 100 megapoint memory depth, and at 500 megasamples per second, even with a sample at 20 milliseconds per division. So that combination of memory depth and sampling gives you incredible signal detail on all types of signals.